My income from YouTube this year is probably...
Really? Why don't you post on YouTube anymore?
You gotta put yourself out there and get into it because it makes life so much better.
You're spending a lot of it on your wedding.
I have a rough budget of...
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
I think I'm gonna end up spending more than that. But the Airstream will be a part of the wedding.
Do you ever regret that? All right, guys, welcome back to Step by Step with me, Shelby Church. I'm joined today with Monica.
Hello. Do I look into the camera or no?
You can if you want. Like, we'll mostly just look at each other. But yeah, been a minute since you've uploaded on YouTube.
I uploaded this morning.
Wait, you did?
I did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Like a vlog?
No, a real estate video.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I
do
don't
kind
really
of
see
consider
those.
it two different things.
We'll get into that. Yeah. So if anyone just happened to find my channel in the last year and maybe didn't know that I have a twin sister, this is Monica. I feel like most of you do know her, especially if you came from the vlog channel. Like, obviously you know her, but Monica's done YouTube for a really long time too.
You were making videos. You started making videos first. You learned how to film and edit, and I kind of learned from you. And then
I bought a camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I was the one that was like, oh, I really like this whole YouTube thing. Like, I'm going to upload.
Well, I was posting on YouTube, but they weren't like searchable. They weren't anything. Monica doesn't really post that much on YouTube anymore because you do real estate basically full time in Seattle, but you live here in Palm Springs half the year. So we're at her house in Palm Springs.
Yes. But I just fly back pretty much every weekend to show.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like you're like not even really a YouTuber anymore, almost accidentally.
No, like I'm not at all. Like, it's so crazy. If I were to, like, we're in end of March. My income from YouTube this year is probably $3,500.
Really?
Yeah.
Just from like AdSense, and you don't do any brand deals or anything?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I got one brand deal.
Okay.
So
On
my
YouTube
income
even,
would have
though?
been, no, it was on Instagram.
Okay,
Yeah.
so-
My influencer income would have been like $11,000.
Interesting. But that's because it's like you don't really have time for it anymore. So let's just start with, why don't you post on YouTube anymore?
It's just hard when you're busy doing something else. I actually still film a lot. I'll vlog a lot, and it just never makes it onto YouTube. Because what happens is I'll vlog like half a day, or I'll vlog the morning and the day gets really busy with other things. And then in my head, I don't want to like scrap together three portions of 3 random days into one vlog. So I trash so many vlogs. I go, oh, never mind.
Do you ever feel pressure like, oh, I haven't uploaded in a month, maybe I should keep it up a little?
Not at all. Like,
Literally
there's
not
like
at all.
no guilt, nothing for not uploading
Yeah.
anymore. I just don't. I could not.
But the thing is, your real estate career, you get like what, 90% of your clients from YouTube, basically.
Yes.
But you have a whole separate real estate channel. So you do post on that, like maybe what, once a month?
Yeah, that one in my head is always on my to-do list. Yeah. It's like my priority, like, oh, I need to post on that.
We have a lot to chat about. You're getting married soon. You live here half the year. I feel like I actually get a lot of questions about that. Like, people in LA will be like, your sister lives in Palm Springs? Like, why do you live in Palm Springs at this age?
Yeah, people get so confused.
I know.
But for me and Jason, our primary residence is Seattle. So when you think about it this way, in the winter months, Seattle is dark and rainy and cold, and the days are shorter there than here as well. And so our friends, a lot of our friends, people aren't really out doing anything anyways. Yeah. So when we're not there, we don't feel like we're missing anything. And then so when we're here during the winter months, it's fine. A lot of our friends come to visit, and we love to golf. Palm Springs is a really boring place if you don't like either golf, pickleball, or tennis, and like have like a passion that you could do every day for the rest of your life.
Yeah, like have your activity.
Yeah, like I don't ever lay by the pool. I never do pool days. I think that's so boring.
I like to every once in a while in the afternoon, like have a little margarita, maybe a book.
Yeah. So I get how people could be like, how can you do that? That must be so boring. I'd be so sick of it. But it's not if you have one of those passions.
I feel like it's really because you guys love to golf. Like, you golf literally every day.
We golf every day.
Yeah.
Yesterday we woke up at 5:30 a.m. Sunday morning and went and golfed.
So what is it about golf? Like, I just do not get it.
It's just great. It's just so fun. It's so satisfying hitting the ball and working on your swing. And you can walk the course, and it's a 6.5 mile, like workout.
Yeah.
It's just nice having something to get better at and try and have a better score. You play with other people. Like, people always talk about golf for networking, and I don't really think of golf like that, because I think it's so corny to be like, oh, I hope I get paired up with someone I could sell a house to or something like that. Like, that's never how it works. But
also, everyone here is like older. And
yeah. How it does work, I think, is just like people in your network, if they golf too, it's so much easier for golfers to be like, oh, do you want to go golf? Versus say to someone, do you want to get lunch? Do you want to get coffee? Do you want to get happy hour?
Like, why?
It's horrible. I honestly hate when people just want to get lunch. I'm like, no, let's.
For no purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really into that anymore.
And it's a lot of like entertaining. And it's really easy when you're just golfing alongside someone, because if you don't have something to talk about, you just talk about golf.
I feel that with tennis. It's like, you play with other people. You don't have to always, like, you don't have the pressure of always having to be chatting because you're doing this activity. And so when you are talking, it's because you actually have something to say that's like interesting.
Yeah.
There's less filler for no reason.
It's so crazy too how we both took up these sports kind of at the same time.
I know, it's funny.
I
guess
got really
that
into
was like
it
when you moved here half the year. That's when you really, I feel like, got into golf.
So into
And when
it.
I moved back to LA, that's when I got into tennis, because there's like a million tennis classes you can go to. But in Seattle, there's like none.
And we both just turned 30 recently. And I bet we both could agree, like, my only regret in life right now is like, I wish I would have started golf earlier.
I know, right?
And gotten more obsessed earlier.
Seriously.
So if you're listening or watching and you don't have a hobby like this, you got to put yourself out there and get into it, because it makes life so much better.
It's so much more fun. I feel like I have like way more friends from that.
I've met so many people
that do just vastly different things. Like, because yes, I've always had like YouTube friends, but it's cool having like a friend who's a lawyer, a friend who works at this random company and that. And you're like, oh, whoa, this is just so different.
And you know what? People are always like, that's a rich person sport. But I did just join a country club, yes. But before that, me and Jason were playing at this kind of ratty course in Palm Springs that costs like $20 a round.
Yeah, you can play in LA, I think, for like $20 a round. And that's like 5 hours of entertainment.
Exactly. Like, it's
the
better than going
hour?
to a movie. Yeah, the cost per hour. And this course that we always played, I still love it. I call it ratty, but like, I still love the course.
Talkwits.
Yeah. You join this little program and they give you a free bucket of balls every day. So you also could just, for free, go to the driving range for about an hour and a half.
You can do it pretty economically, kind of.
Yeah.
But like both of those sports, you do need to take some lessons, and that's where the cost is. But you can do like semi-private. Like,
so many people though, like, watch YouTube videos. You should eventually take,
I feel like it's
real
just
lessons
not the same
when your budget permits, but you can get by on YouTube a little bit.
Back into real estate, when did you kind of decide like, I want to take a step back from YouTube? Or did you not even decide? It just kind of happened. You just kind of stopped uploading?
It all happened. Well, all of it happened during COVID, during lockdown. I think for 2 or 3 years at this point, my YouTube career, I was kind of desperately clawing at any random video idea I could think of. But every week felt like, what am I going to do this week to try and get views? And I always felt this sense of like, what am I doing with my life? I still just feel like I'm running around, not being an expert at anything and just kind of feeling like I'm talking about stuff with no real authority to be doing so. So I just wanted something, to become good at. My first year, I was on a team and I really did view it 50-50 or more like 75-25. Like, YouTube was still number one. I still was trying to upload a lot, and real estate was second to that. And since I was on the team, they could cover for me too. And then the second year, I felt a little more 50-50 about it. And then my third year, last year, I went into that year and I said, screw it. I want to go all in real estate. I don't care about YouTube anymore. And I just fully committed, and I had my best year yet. I fully replaced my YouTube income and even did a little better. And I was just doing something I'm honestly more passionate about.
So how much did you make from real estate last year?
Last year from real estate, I made...
Okay, but before we get into it, I wanted to quickly thank one of the sponsors of the podcast, Cure Hydration. If you guys aren't familiar with Cure Hydration, it's an electrolyte drink mix. And what I really like about it is they don't have any added sugar or artificial sweeteners. So you're not going to get that fake sugar taste, and they use clean ingredients. They use things like pink Himalayan salt and coconut water powder. I feel like it's just a cleaner way to hydrate, and really when it comes to staying hydrated, it really is more than just drinking water. I mean, I've found when I go to play tennis, and if it's like a hot day, I'm playing in the middle of the day, I will be so fatigued after, even if I was just drinking normal water the whole time, because I need those electrolytes. If you are not replenishing your electrolytes too, like you'll kind of get that fatigue, that brain fog. You know, I feel like we've all felt it. In the summer when I'm in Palm Springs, like you don't even have to be working out. Like I need to be drinking this just to stay like normal. So with the Cure electrolyte drink mix, there's only 25 calories in each packet, so very low calorie, again because there isn't any added sugar, and it's doctor approved and safe for the whole family, so adults and kids can use Cure. So they have a bunch of different flavors. They got like watermelon, lemonade I feel like is a classic. There's strawberry, kiwi, berry, pomegranate, really something for everyone. They found that 75% of Americans don't drink enough water or have enough electrolytes, and this is when you get those symptoms like fatigue, headaches, dry skin. I notice for myself, my lips get really dry. When I stay hydrated, my lips are just like naturally a little more plump. So it's like more motivation I've had to actually drink water. They actually followed a formula that was developed by the World Health Organization to be as effective as an actual IV drip. So they're not messing around here. We're really getting rehydrated. And for step-by-step listeners, Cure is offering 20% off your first order. You can get that by going to curehydration.com/Shelby and entering the promo code Shelby. Again, it's curehydration.com/Shelby. I'll put the link in the show notes, and let's get back into the podcast. Quick break to thank Lumi for sponsoring this episode. So Lumi is a whole body deodorant. Unlike other deodorants, Lumi is powered by mandelic acid, so it controls odor in a different way. It delivers a crazy 72-hour odor control. You can use it everywhere from your armpits to your feet, everywhere in between. It was actually created by an OBGYN, so it's really like for any part of your body, and they have over 300,000 5-star reviews. They have a solid deodorant stick. They also have a sweat control deodorant that is 72-hour odor control, and there's a spray deodorant, and this is the one that's aluminum free, and it's ideal for hard to reach places. So maybe if you're using this, since it's a whole body deodorant, if you're using it somewhere than like your armpits, for example, it's pH balanced to be safe for below the waist, and it's baking soda free and paraben free, which I love. And they have a bunch of different scents like clean tangerine, lavender sage, toasted coconut, vanilla bliss. If you want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant formula right now, you can find it in Walmart and Target right now, or you can go to lumideodorant.com. They're offering 15% off all Lumi products with this exclusive code. It's Shelby for 15% off. You go to lumideodorant.com. That's Shelby is the code, and the website is LUMEDEODORANT.com. Also have it linked down below. So if you want to support my show and let them know that I sent you, and you want to smell better head to toe, go check it out. So how much did you make from real estate last year?
Last year from real estate, I'd have to double check. It was somewhere around 570,000.
Dang, I feel like that is better than you've done on YouTube, really.
Yeah. And last year I did get some brand deal stuff. So my total income was about like around 625 probably.
Yeah.
Which is the most I've ever made in a year. It was more than I thought. And I didn't even think I didn't do anything different.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, okay, before you started doing, before we bought the townhouse and we met the real estate agent that we used for that, I did not know real estate agents could even make that much money, because he was making like $1 million a year or something, I think he said.
No, not when we first bought.
Oh.
No,
but eventually he kind of did.
He had a year where he made like $1 million. Yeah. But that was a year when interest rates were really low.
Right.
There was way more transactions.
Many people buying.
Yeah.
I guess I just always assumed real estate agents made like, I don't know, 100,000 a year.
Oh, I did too.
Of course, it varies because it is a more entrepreneurial job. It's not like you would have a salary. There's no cap.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure the average probably is around that, like 100,000 or 200,000 if you're like selling a decent amount of houses. But, you know, you have this huge advantage of selling to people who have watched us for a long time. And the thing is, you get a lot of clients, right, who have sometimes never even been to Seattle. So they don't know anyone there, some of them, right? And so it's actually pretty cool that like you're their most trustworthy person to like know the lay of the land and everything.
Definitely. Yeah, it's either people relocating and they found me on YouTube, and they oftentimes don't even know about my other channel.
That's so crazy.
And
Just the real estate one.
I feel a little bit like Hannah Montana, and at some point during our tours I kind of break it to them like, yeah, I have like 1 million subscribers on this other channel, but it doesn't really matter anymore because it's not like any of them watch because I don't upload.
Yeah.
But they're like, what the heck? Or they'll go follow me on Instagram and be really confused, you know?
What?
Yeah.
How do you have... Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. And then other than that, it's also people that reach out that are ready to finally buy, and they're like, I've been watching you for 10 years.
Right.
And that's super fun because then I can also just be like, oh my gosh, cowboy this morning. You know, like people oftentimes will, it's like I meet them and they think maybe it's weird, but I actually love it. I'm like, you decided you like me. I don't have to explain myself or my life at all. You know it.
You don't have to like pitch yourself
and
as a good
you've
agent.
accepted me. Yeah. So I'm just like very honored, and it's always a huge compliment when people reach out, and I'm so happy to work with them. Can we go back to the money really quick?
Yeah.
Because like I feel like people are gonna hear 630,000, and there's so many thoughts that could swirl through someone's head. Someone could be like, real estate agents aren't worth that much. Someone else could be like, wow, that's a lot. I want to get into this business.
I think the thing is, it's like real estate agents, a lot of them make like nothing the first year.
Yes.
Like it can be pretty hard to get the ball rolling.
I worked so hard the first year. I mean, you see me on the phone doing my real estate.
Constantly on the phone.
Constantly.
It's actually so annoying. I'm like, Monica, stop.
Yeah, and it
But I
gets
get it.
so stressful. Like I actually am getting more gray hairs. It gets stressful.
Some of the stuff you've had to deal with, I'm like, what? And I don't think people realize that also, and this is not typical, but you will stage your own listings yourself. So typically, say you have someone, say you're going to sell your house, the listing agent that you hire will say, oh, you should stage it. That's going to be $5,000 a month. You need to pay for it. That's what like most of them do.
Yes.
And Monica has just figured out a way. She'll set up these townhouses literally herself in like 2 hours, and they look fucking good.
Yeah, you saw that day.
I was like, Monica, I didn't know that. And then also one day you were like pulling weeds from a house, and I was like, I don't think this is typical realtor things. Like,
yeah,
girl, what are you doing, low key?
No, it literally is blood, sweat, and tears that go into it because it's blood.
Most are not gonna do that
with the prep. You know, sometimes you accidentally literally scrape your knee or something. It is sweat. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't mind a little hard labor task, you know? Like, I think it's good to
It's like a workout, low-key. If you put your AirPods in, you have some music or a podcast.
Staging days, I do look at it as a workout.
Yeah, it is. It's very physically demanding.
So I keep some staging furniture, and I can easily stage 1 or 2 bedroom condos or townhomes. But if it's a bigger single family home, I hire a professional stager, but I still pay for it.
Oh, you do. And so most people don't. If it's like a really big house. Because, I mean, that's worth it. You're going to make a lot from that.
Exactly.
Like if you're selling a $2 million house, you'll make probably 40 to 50,000.
Yeah. And in my head, I've always thought that, exactly, if a check is that big,
then that seems fair.
And I look at staging and it's marketing.
Yeah.
Like, it's so different when it's, okay, it's the seller's house, it's their mess, they should pay for a cleaner, or they should pay for a repair, it's their house. But to me, staging is marketing. Marketing falls on the real estate agent.
Some real estate agents are just kind of greedy, though.
They are. And I can't fully blame them, but and some don't have the resources. Maybe they're just getting started and they don't have the money.
That's fair.
But I do. And so I'm going to invest in the staging and be the one to do it. And I'm going to obviously get really good video and stuff.
Yeah, because that's like a unique skill.
You do a little more than
like pay. I mean, other realtors would just like pay for that, but it's nice to not have to.
But most won't pay for a video, actually.
That's true. It's like photography is very standard, but a video is kind of above and beyond. Like it must be a house that's harder to sell. or like really nice or something.
Yeah.
Or like those Matterport 3D tours.
Matterports are very worth the money, and they're not very expensive. They're like $200.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you always got to do the Matterport, because the Matterport creates a floor plan.
Yeah.
And every single buyer, every single one always goes, is there a floor plan for this house?
Yeah. So, yeah, I know a lot of people, they probably think real estate, you watch Selling Sunset, it looks so easy, it looks so fun. What are the worst parts of the job? I would imagine a lot of people waste your time.
Yeah, that's definitely hands down the worst part, is people wasting your time. And just, you can't trust people at all. And but that's just how it goes. It's, you do buyer calls with people, you have a good call, and then you schedule appointments. We're going to go see stuff. And then the day of, they go, oh, actually, we went and saw it with a different agent yesterday. And it's like, what?
It's so annoying. It's like, okay.
And they're like,
what?
oh, well, we didn't know how it worked. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, some people, I guess, genuinely don't.
And those ones are like a disappointment, but it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I hadn't even met them in person yet.
Yeah, you didn't show them for a whole day.
So you can't get so mad, but like, it's disappointing. You wanted to work with them, and then that happened, but you kind of just have to say, well, their loss, not mine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what about people where you show them a few times? You take a whole day out of your life to show them like 6 properties, maybe even a few different times. Like, this is like 18 hours of work, and then they decide that they're going to work with a different agent. That's happened to you.
I had probably, put about 20 hours worth of work into showing these people. And I even wrote an offer for them on a house. And then out of nowhere one day, they were like, hey, we're going to like stop our search. And I just had a gut feeling. And I was like, oh, are you really? Or are you wanting to work with someone else? It's okay. Honestly, this was like a rare scenario where I was kind of ready to not work with them anymore either.
Why?
And it was amicable. It was just, they started their search wanting to look in neighborhoods that I work in a lot. And then it started to get past that. And so I was kind of like, well, I can't help as well in these neighborhoods. And also, they wouldn't listen to me. And I don't want to work with someone that's not going to listen to me, because we went and would see houses that are going to go up in price. And I would tell them, because it's all about expectation setting. Hey, if you want to see this, that's okay. I just want you to know before we view it, it's not going to go for $750. It's going to go for $800.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you? Because that is the purpose of the job. It's not to
guide people.
Yeah, it's not just find the house. It's set the expectations and know the market, so that they know the market and they don't get blindsided by these things. So yeah, we would like offer on these homes, and I'd say, okay, like, just so you know, I'm happy to submit anything. Here's how this is probably going to go. And it would go exactly how I said. They wanted to offer below list price on something that was getting multiple offers. Okay.
And they know that there are multiple offers.
I told them, And then they were, even though, and then it literally went for like the exact amount of money that I told them.
Because it is predictable. You can look at what things sold for in the last 3 months in the area, and like,
yeah, totally. And then after that, that's when they didn't want to work with me. And I was like, that's so interesting. I wonder if they think it's my fault they didn't get the house, because it's not.
Yeah, I mean, you told them what it would go for.
That's kind of
Why do you
part
think
of the
they
job.
didn't listen to you? Because you look young? Were they
No,
older?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's because first-time homebuyers need to learn for themselves. They need to like touch the hot oven, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it would have done that with any agent. Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of buyers that they need to submit an offer where they're going to get beat, and that's okay. And then they learn. And then the next one, they're like, okay, I don't want that to happen again. And so with that one, I don't really know. There was a couple different, I don't know.
But you're okay with it, because you're like,
I was so okay with it. I was like, yeah, they just started looking in a place that's different than, where we started. And they won't listen to me. They won't listen to my advice. And if you're not going to like respect what I'm saying and listen to me, I don't really want to work with you either.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of people. How many people are you working with right now?
Oh, not that many. I feel like at any given time, there's 6 to 10 people that I'm kind of working with in different ways.
That are interested. They're like starting their search or whatever. I mean, that's a good amount.
Yeah. Like I have 2 people in contract right now. I had one that closed like 2 days ago. And then I have,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, probably like 4 or 5 that I'm showing.
Yeah.
And 2 listings I'm going to bring on in the next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it always
Yeah.
kind of, one's done and another pops up.
Seattle's such a good place to buy because the inventory is just so good for the prices of the job or for the salaries in the area. Like people have these tech jobs and then you can buy a townhouse and you can afford it. LA, I'm always just like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
rough
such a
out
good
there.
point. That's,
Yeah, you can, if you have like a tech job making $150,000 to $200,000 a year, after a few years, you can afford one of those. Even $600,000 will get you a small townhouse, maybe. Does it anymore?
Yeah. I have a townhouse listed, Columbia City, 2-bed, 2-bath, 650,000.
LA, absolutely never. It would be like a horrible condo. It just is so not the same.
Well, there's a statistic about it's something like 1% of realtors do 95% of the work or something. That's wrong. It's something like that. And then there's another one that's something like 1 or 2% end up, or 5% end up sticking with it past 2 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And it is crazy because I am in my 4th year and I actually took this class with other new agents at the time.
Oh,
and
you did it in person?
No.
Oh.
It was over Zoom because it was still COVID. But a lot of those people in that class aren't still
They're
doing
not.
it.
I mean, it's kind of tough. And in some ways,
I do well, and even I've been like, I want to quit.
yeah. Because that's the thing is like, I mean, I got a real estate license and I've had like some people reach out and I have these 2 listings, right? But I'm like, I just love with YouTube the guaranteed return on your time. Like if I put my time into a video, I know I'm getting something out of it. Whereas, you know, it's not like that with real estate, which I do not like, but I understand that's a part of that. But I'm like, oh, I just love if I have a brand deal. As long as I complete it, I'm getting paid for that. And I can like be creative and stuff, you know? It's not as predictable.
It's not.
But YouTube's pretty unpredictable.
For me,
too.
real estate's been more predictable than YouTube used to be.
Oh,
I hated
yeah?
being like, when am I going to get another brand deal? When's a brand going to work with me again? I have no control over that. But with real estate, I feel like as long as I'm posting about it, I'm always getting enough people to stay busy.
Yeah.
Always.
I do think for people though who don't have like a YouTube following getting into real estate, I think there's some similarities to an MLM in the way that you have to like
Join a team.
annoy your friends. Yeah, and you have to join.
Yeah.
Annoy all the people that you know about it and like make it know. I mean, not necessarily annoy. I'm sure there are supportive people. And from what I've gathered, the financial advising industry is kind of like this too, where they want you to like reach out to all the people you know. And so it's like if you're not comfortable doing that, because I feel like, I don't know, it's definitely a little, I would be uncomfortable like going to my friends and be like, by the way, I'm a realtor now. So
there's certain brokerages that still make people do that. Like their first day,
so
they're like,
awkward.
we want you to contact 100 people in your list.
Oh, just
I
like
was
that,
never
you know?
told to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But certain brokerages definitely make people do that.
I mean, I'm sure it works because eventually they're going to like think of you. You know?
Maybe.
I mean, eventually someone will. Like if you reach out to 100 people you know, eventually one of them.
Yeah,
But it just feels really cringe.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a weird business in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a lot of businesses. You know, you can think about it that way, but then you kind of think about it and you're like, okay, well, like everyone has a job to make money.
Yeah. I think what people forget is you actually can just buy a house yourself. Like you don't have to use a real estate agent. It's just really hard to do that. Like you really got to know what you're doing because a lot of times the listing agents won't take you seriously.
Yeah.
You know? Like I one time before I got a license, I went to an open house and was interested and was like, maybe I can just go with the listing agent, like just have them represent both of us and it would be less commission overall. And they didn't send me any more information. Sometimes I feel like people don't take me seriously though because I feel like I look young or whatever. But yeah, they didn't send me any more information and then it sold like under asking. And I was like, wait, I would have like offered the amount. Anyway, I don't know. But I think people forget you can get like a real estate attorney and just pay them to do it. You can just like do it yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know,
It
for
would be
first-time home
really hard
Yeah.
if you have no idea what you're doing.
There's a lot of forms, I think with ChatGPT now, it's more doable than ever.
But ChatGPT still gets things wrong. Like, I think people want the guidance if they want to work with a real estate agent. They want to be told what the house is worth, as well as they're going to do their own research. And ChatGPT, I feel like, is still like a Redfin or a Zillow estimate. It is pulling comps without being in the houses, and it doesn't know the streets. It can't. It's still, ChatGPT still could never.
But if you describe to it what the street is like, it will factor that in. Like if you go in the house and if you describe everything, because that's what I did with that condo I was interested in. And then when I would find all these comps, I would go on Google Maps. I'd be like, this condo is newer, but it's right next to an auto repair shop. And so it would factor that in and it'd be like, okay, that lowers the value by this much. So you have to like give it that info though.
It's helpful, but it's still.
I still think for most people it would not go super well trying to buy on your own, but it's like you can negotiate that commission. Like people forget
let's
that
try.
too.
If someone wanted to buy on their own, the first thing that they would have to do, number one, is they could only go into open houses.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't be able to access
true.
lock boxes. So that's the first thing that sucks. Some houses simply don't hold open houses.
Some sell before they even do that.
Lots sell
open
before
house.
the open houses.
Yeah.
There's tons that sell within 24 hours of hitting the market. So that's the first
Honestly,
thing.
the best places do.
You're losing the best access, and it does suck going to open houses. It sucks when there's other people there. The animosity in the room's kind of awkward.
Oh, it's so awkward. People have their measuring tapes and shit, and you're like, wait, but I want it.
Yeah, I always like just taking my buyers to private showings.
Yeah.
A lot of agents will be like, oh, there's an open house. Can you go hit the open house over the weekend? But I'm always like, no, like I'm happy to just show you instead.
Yeah.
Unless they want to do it on their own time. I get it. But that would be the first thing. Then the second thing, you find the house you want. You have to draft up the paperwork.
The offer, yeah.
You don't know what to do. What are you doing going into
confusing, yeah.
Microsoft Word and saying, I will offer this price for it? No, there's all these MLS documents that you use. And then you don't even have access to those either.
Right, you have to like pay a yearly fee to have access to those.
Yes, and a quarterly fee.
That's where it's like people usually, if they do that, they get a real estate attorney, pay them like a couple $1,000.
True. So let's say you have the real estate attorney do it then. Is the real estate attorney gonna like call the agent and negotiate on your behalf, or are you doing that yourself?
Yeah, I don't
know. But
probably not.
Any agent's gonna walk all over you because they're gonna know you don't know the market that well.
If someone is just like very savvy, maybe, but yeah, it's definitely tricky.
People do it, people do like for sale by owner, and you see people do it that are usually older that have owned many houses in the past too.
That is what it is. Yeah. It's like not their first rodeo.
Yeah.
So they can kind of pull it off.
Yeah.
But still, I see some where I'm like, wait, the photos are so bad. This is probably not attracting anyone. I know you've had some like crazy stories though with real estate. Like this job is interesting, I would say, right? Like what are some crazy things that have happened to you while you've shown houses?
Well, you know the crazy things. I'll tell one story. So which one do you want me to tell?
Only one?
Yeah.
Okay, you pick.
The craziest thing. Well, I'll tell the most recent one that I haven't told the public yet.
Yeah, okay.
This story is something that I knew this was going to happen at some point. And so I'm like, oh, interesting. 4 years in. By that amount, if I'm a realtor for 30 more years, I'm going to see this at least 10 more times, I bet.
Realtors, comment below if you've seen this after you hear it.
So I'm showing this group, this house. It's a husband and wife and their friend came with. And we're seeing the house. And then the next day they want to see the house again. And so we go into the house the next day. And immediately it smelled different than the day before. But it didn't smell bad, really. It just smelled different. And it almost smelled like natural gas. So the first thing I did was go over to the oven just to make sure, like,
yeah, you're like, okay,
like
sketch.
Nothing was like leaking or anything, and nothing was. And so the husband and wife went upstairs. They're looking at the bedrooms, and me and the friend are just kind of sitting there making small talk. And I'm like, it smells weird in here. And she's like, you know what? Yeah, it smells kind of like a fart. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, now that you put it like that, it does smell kind of gross like that. And then I have this flashback of the day before when the friend actually turned on the sink faucet and water didn't come out because they turned the water off.
Yeah.
And then I went, oh my God, there has to be shit in the toilet and someone took a shit in this house and it couldn't flush. And sure enough, I walk towards the powder bath on the main level. I just walk towards it and the smell's getting stronger.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh no. The toilet seat's down, but the door was like open. So I turned the fan on and shut the door, but I don't look. I just can't look. I'm like, I can't look.
If it's been there for a week too, it's probably getting
Well, no, it had
disgusting.
only been within the last 24 hours because we were there the day before and it didn't smell at all.
Whoa.
Not at all. Yeah. And so she looked and she confirmed that yes, it was in fact.
Oh my God.
And also like I didn't check, but I bet you there wasn't toilet paper. Most homes for sale
No, they
do not have toilet paper.
Well, they don't want to encourage people to be using the bathroom.
Yeah. So isn't that crazy?
Did you tell the listing agent?
No, I didn't.
You're just like, oh, they can find it.
Maybe I should have, but I was like, okay, this isn't my fault. Whoever the
And
one
maybe
is
they
that
thought
did
it was
it
you.
is the one that should.
They should. And clearly they didn't if they're letting other people go in there.
The fun thing is going to happy hour with other real estate agents and then hearing their crazy stories too. And just swapping crazy stories.
That should just be a podcast. I would listen to that. That's funny. Okay, so yeah, you made a lot though in real estate, but you're spending a lot of it on your wedding.
Yes.
You're getting married soon. I got a lot of questions about that when I posted that I was going to do a podcast with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, have you shared much on YouTube?
No, I have a lot of vlog clips I haven't uploaded.
Oh, because yeah, like the wedding tasting, whatever. Do you have like a budget?
I have a rough budget of $120,000. But I think I'm going to end up spending more than that.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
But maybe I won't.
But weddings are just so expensive.
The food and drinks itself is $50,000.
Wow, for how many people?
Like 130. You know what makes it so expensive? At least if you're having a wedding in California, it's because you have the price of the food and drinks, and then they add 25% gratuity,
25?
automatic 25%.
You guys know how I feel about tipping.
Automatic 25, and then the California state tax of 7%. So every quote you get, add 32%.
Like when I get married one day, freaking going to Europe.
So that's why the food and beverage cost is so much. It originally probably was $30K, now it's like $50.
I have a friend who told me that on her wedding day, they told her to bring cash to tip people. I was like, that just seems so annoying. Like, your wedding day, you should be able to enjoy it. I don't want to like have to get a bunch of cash out.
I've heard that at the end of the night is when you get your bill and you have to sign this huge bill. So it's weird because
kind of a buzzkill.
Yeah, I've heard of that happening to people. So you had all this fun and then you get this bill for an extra like $20,000 or whatever that you have to like sign off on. And it's really weird, I think.
No, they should just email it to you the next day.
I would love to just get it all paid now. Just get it done and not have to think about it. Because I think the closer you do pay it to the day, the more you feel it. But if I could just pay it earlier than on the day, it just feels kind of like that money's long gone.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Totally.
I don't know.
Okay, here's like a juicy question. Like, are mom and dad chipping in?
No.
I know.
I wouldn't even think to ask that.
I know, right?
No. Mom and dad aren't. Jason's parents are. Our parents aren't, you know? And I think that's the first thing when you get engaged and then you start looking at wedding stuff. And it gets so crazy. And even wedding planners, I had reached out to some and they just didn't even respond. Like, no time of day for me. And I'm like, okay, $120,000 is not nothing.
But they were like, that's not enough.
Oh, yeah. They like work with people that it's like 200 or at least 150 at the lowest. And yeah, it's so crazy because I don't know. I'm not one that's going to go, I'm so proud that I'm paying it on my own.
Yeah.
Because in real estate, I help a lot of people whose parents give them down payment money. So many people's parents give them down payment money. And I think I'm just numb to that. And I'm like, oh, that's really nice that they can do that. Especially because I'm the real estate agent. I'm like, great, whoever's funding this, awesome.
Yeah, you're like, whatever, now I'll get paid.
So I think then looking at weddings where people's parents pay for their wedding, I don't know, if parents can do that, good for them. That's so great. I'm happy for these people.
Stimulates the economy, I guess.
Yeah. Happy for these people. That's great. It's kind of hard, though, not to compare yourself to those people.
But you still have amazing budget.
Yeah, it'll
you
still be
know?
really good. It'll
It's
be
still,
really good.
you have a budget of people whose parents are paying for it. Better,
That's
probably.
true. That's
actually
true.
way better.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to take the opinions of, because a lot of times when there's money involved, opinions come with that.
Totally.
I've heard of that happening. I don't know
Yeah.
if that happens with your real estate clients, but I've heard of it happening with people.
Yeah.
Even where they live, although I feel like that's probably less common. But with the wedding, more opinions, you can truly do whatever you want because you're paying for it. Although I will say, when we were at the food tasting, Mom, she was acting like she was paying for it or something.
No, she does that.
She was like, Monica, the salmon, no. And I was like, Mom, let her do what she wants.
Yeah, it's so true.
I thought that was funny.
No, yeah, she really wanted me to go with the halibut. The halibut was dry and chewy.
And
We're
I feel
not going
like
with the
halibut is a little more niche. I think people, especially from Seattle, are used to salmon, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, salmon, yum."
Yeah.
They're gonna be more into that probably.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I am not going to go into detail, but the only thing with wedding planning is there've definitely been people that have assumed that they're invited that are not, and that's awkward.
Oh,
There's just been a
What do you
couple of
say?
those. I didn't say anything to the people. I told the source of the ones that made them feel like they were invited that that's not what's happening. But yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I know.
only a couple, and it's just like,
I think that happens to everyone when they're having a wedding. I
Yeah.
always hear of that. I don't know. I feel like I've been to so many weddings that I'm almost over it unless I know the person really well.
same.
Like, I don't want to go to some acquaintance's wedding.
Same.
It's like, I've got to be like, you're a good friend. Otherwise, it's because every wedding for me, because I live in LA, is a destination wedding. It's like I always have to fork out like $1,000
Yeah.
to go, because it's
Yeah.
like you have to give the wedding gift like $200 for that. It's
Yeah.
something to wear.
I'm curious
Hotel flight.
how much people give for wedding gifts. I usually do like 200.
I think
for people.
200 is pretty standard, but I
Yeah.
don't really know. Yeah.
Honestly, it's it's one of those things. It's like, part of me doesn't even want to add the little wedding registry thing because I'm like, I don't need gifts.
It's okay. It's evolved a lot, because when you think about it, people used to get married when they were like 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they didn't live together before. So those registries made so much sense.
Totally.
They needed that stuff. And,
Yeah.
they probably didn't make a lot of money. And so and also weddings used to be not fancy like they are now, like our parents' wedding.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
bachelorette parties.
Yeah, it was just like night in your town.
One night in your town. Yeah, it's so
Although,
crazy.
we're going to throw you the sickest bachelorette.
Yeah, we're leaning in.
We've been
yeah.
planning today. It's going to be fun.
Oh, have you?
Well, I have.
Oh wait, we have. I
I've
thought
been
you meant
sending
like a
emails.
separate group text with other people
Oh
or something.
no, I should start that though.
That would be funny.
I'm gonna
Shelby
start that.
is the maid of honor, if anyone was wondering.
I
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
sure, low key. I was like,
Oh, really?
Did you say that
Oh,
to me yet?
yeah, we need to
No, I
do something like
assumed.
fun, like get matching bracelets or something.
Yeah, like cute tennis bracelets or
Yeah, totally. I actually
be
tried to message a company to get a tennis bracelet for you, but they weren't doing any gifting. I was like,
that would have
"Dang
been
it."
cool.
Yeah.
That's okay though. I don't.
You could
need
twist my
one.
arm though. If we go on El Paseo and find something cool and you're like, we
Like
should get these.
Tiffany. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't need anything fancy, I feel like. So I was thinking recently while I was driving, I was like, because like I feel like I've gone to a lot of weddings and it feels transactional now. It almost feels like
That's why
the
I
gift
don't wanna
is to
yeah.
cover your
your
plate.
honeymoon or something.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Your
that
dinner
is how
plate.
it feels.
And that's kind of what I think going into it too. I'm like, I want to cover my cost.
Yeah.
And so I'll give, but I give like the same amount for all the weddings, but I feel like I give a good amount.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is 200
I feel the
normal?
same way. And I think that is normal. Well, I think that's why with the registries too, when people don't have some stuff on there, it's only like pay into our honeymoon, give us a gift card. It kind of makes it even worse to me because, and like no shade to anyone
just
that's
like,
done it, but it makes
Chip
me,
in for the wedding.
it's kind of like more fun when you can give someone like
It is fun to pick an item.
an item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you going to
But
do
I don't
that?
need any items. I don't.
Even though there are things like this and other things that I'm like, I think are weird now, kind of, guess what? I'm still going to participate.
Yeah.
And everyone is expecting it. And
Yeah.
and you might as well just you're giving people a good time and you pay for other people's registry, so you might as well, I think.
I would like to do every single thing I can do to celebrate, because why not? Like, you only get this
Honestly.
one time, kind of, hopefully. And like, I want to do even like a bridal shower, but for that, I'm like, people don't need to bring stuff. I just want a reason for us to all to hang out and drink champagne.
Do people normally bring? I don't think I've gone to a bridal shower ever, actually.
I've been to Vanessa's, so our brother's wife. Here's the reason why bridal showers are awkward, though. And I don't really want gifts at one, because you know what happens?
You have to open it in front of everyone?
You open it in front of everyone, including your mom and the your future husband's mom. Yeah, and people give you lingerie, and it's just like awkward.
That's so funny.
So awkward.
Why do people do that? That's like still doing like a garter toss.
Yeah.
Like, are there things at your wedding that you're like, fuck that, I'm not doing that?
I don't really care. I'm pretty indifferent to that. I still think it's funny when people do that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
I would definitely do the bouquet toss.
Bouquet toss is
when
still
people
fun.
don't do that, I'm like, what? It's fun.
It is fun.
I love that part.
Yeah,
I don't get to go out
funny.
anymore.
You caught one.
Yeah, the last wedding.
Janine's wedding.
Yeah, so Janine's wedding, I caught it. We were kind of colluding together. She was like, I'm gonna throw it to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna catch it.
And this was a Texas wedding, so a lot of people wanted to catch it.
There were so many ladies out there.
Yeah.
And she threw it right to me. I stuck my arm out. Luckily, I was taller than these girls. They were going for it so hard. I had a death grip on
I've
it.
actually never seen people try that hard to like catch a bouquet. Like,
some girl,
usually people are just like, if it comes to me, like, sure.
Yes. Well, I didn't try that hard. It just was there.
Yeah.
It really just went in my hand.
But all the other people, I think,
they were
trying.
They were yanking for it. I'm like, no. But it was meant to be, because I was, out of all those people, I was the next person to actually get engaged.
Yeah, you were.
It's just funny.
And your engagement, have you told people, though, that you knew about that?
I mean, most people do know. I said I wanted to be fully surprised.
Honestly, true. Everyone that I've talked to now, I'm like, wait, people know. People wear white in their photos, then you're like, they fucking knew.
Yeah, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what the ring would look like at all.
Yes, and I helped pick that.
Yeah.
But Jason, like, really did, I think, have some good ideas, too. And then I was just like, yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah,
that looks
nice.
good. Yeah.
Although he did show me the ring he was going to pick without your help, and I did not like it.
I don't remember what it was.
It was just like a perfect circle, I think. And it was like,
yeah, I do kind of remember that, actually.
And he's like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't go with that one. I got married and cleaned the other day. And
it does look very extra sparkly.
No, it was like so crazy. It felt like I got engaged all over again. I was like, whoa, I forgot.
I was going to say, like, it's sparkling a lot recently. It is very pretty. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I have a friend that gave me a ring cleaner.
Oh, cool.
And I like still was just lazy and hadn't used it. I'm going to start using it all the time though now, because keeping it so clean really is underrated. So nice. Yeah.
So there aren't anything that you're like, you really don't want to do at your wedding? Are there any? Wait, I know. No Bruno Mars, right?
No Bruno Mars, no Pitbull. Yeah, I'm not.
Do people really play Pitbull?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
We should explain that Bruno Mars hate, maybe. Like, it's just overdone. It's just overdone. And like
24 karat Uptown Funk. I don't want that.
But I get why people do it, because it does hype everyone up. Like, it has the energy. Yeah. It does. But I just like can't stand those songs anymore.
I think there will be one special attendant at my wedding, Minnie Mo, the Airstream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, someone asked, they were like, has Monica used the Airstream yet?
No, we should take it. But the Airstream will be a part of the wedding.
Do you ever regret that?
No, I don't know. I just don't even want to put energy towards regretting stuff. But it was a lot of money for that thing.
Very cool.
I have a couple people that have been like, would you sell it? And I've said the price, and they were like, I would do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so back to real estate, though.
Yeah. Okay, so going back into real estate. So when I became a real estate agent, I did realize one thing. Oh my God, he's rubbing his butt on the carpet.
Stop, Baylor. I wonder if you can see that in the video. For sure you can
he's
see
sniffing the carpet after too.
Baylor, what? Oh my God, and he just got groomed, so he should be fine.
Go, you nasty.
For context, if you're watching or you're listening, you're not watching. Baylor rubbed his butt on the carpet.
No, he's just pushing his butt into Shelby.
No, it's not the same though.
Put your snoot down. Oh, he wants to speak.
Yeah? I'll interview you next.
Let's just get the sniff ASMR. Baylor, sit. Baylor, sit.
Oh, he can just hang out
Let's be
here.
quiet and let him.
Okay.
I hope that sounds fun.
I can't wait to listen to that. Okay, so back to real estate though.
Yes. Okay. So when I became a real estate agent, I noticed one huge glaring issue with real estate in general is that people don't know how to find a real estate agent and what to look for in a good real estate agent.
And so you did something about it.
So I created this brand and website. It's called How to House. The mission is basically that buying a house is the second biggest decision you'll ever make. Who you work with is the first. Because it really is true. Who you work with dictates if you're going to even win the house, if you're going to get a good deal on the house, if you're going to buy the wrong house for you. All of that sort of stuff. And people just don't do enough due diligence. But I can't blame them. Like the way it is right now, you either ask a friend, but even when you ask a friend, your friend's taste and what they needed in an agent could be really different from yours. So that's one of the number one ways. And so it can be good, but it can also be, I don't know, it might not be the right fit.
Yeah.
The biggest way is on pretty much any big home search engine website, not going to say brand names. There's always buttons that say, click here to take a tour of that home. And then you get matched with a random agent. But what you don't know is those agents are just paying to be there.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're good.
They pay what, like $600 too? Like kind of a lot.
They pay out of pocket, and then also when the transaction is over, the big search engine takes a huge percentage of their commission, like a huge percent.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I know agents where after their brokerage split, after their team split, and after the home search engine splits, sometimes they're taking home like 20% of the commission. Dang. They're taking 20% home, and they have to pay taxes, and they had expenses. Being an agent is expensive.
Yeah.
And so people think agents are just, taking home all of this. No.
I mean, some of them are taking home a lot, but some of them are taking home, I mean, that's pretty crazy. That's unusual though. Well, I mean, a lot of people do it, so I guess not unusual, but anyway, so but the point is, it's like they might not be a good fit.
They might not be a good fit. And I don't want to totally hate on them because when we first came to Palm Springs, that's what I used to find our agent here that I really like.
We got lucky, just found a good fit.
Yeah.
Good fit.
But then on the flip side, Jason's first house he ever bought, he did the same thing, and he got stuck with an agent that was not very good, and he didn't
know to look for something else. Yeah. So, but pretty much How to House Monica, you've curated agents that you actually have talked to, met with a lot of them.
Yes.
Some of them maybe not, but they all have a baseline. They have sold at least 8 homes in the last year minimum, right? So they're active agents. They're not like a random person who just has a license.
Yeah, it's essentially my short list of high quality agents in hopefully every US city it will be in. Right now, if you go to howtohouse.com, there will be agents in LA, Seattle, Dallas, Chicago, Palm Springs. But if you don't see your city, it doesn't mean I don't know an agent there yet. I just haven't inputted them. So you have two options. You can either take the quiz or you can message the How to House team, which is me, directly, and say a little bit about your criteria, and then I will find you different agent matches that I would recommend to you. If you take the quiz, you basically answer a few questions about your budget, the type of home you want to buy, and then there's even a map of your city, and you can click on little spots in your city, and then based on that, you get different agent matches as well. And then all you have to do is you go to their profile, and it's built out like a little mini profile where there's a photo of them, a bio, there's videos, there's social posts, there's homes they've sold, there's reviews, past reviews from clients that are all pulled from Google and all that. You can kind of get a feel for them. And then if you want to work with them, all you do is hit work with me, and then it sends them an email with the info from the quiz so they know a little bit about you too. Yeah. And then from there, you'll both schedule a time to chat. There's no obligation. You don't have to work with them just because you hit that.
Yeah.
But you just schedule time to chat.
It's probably a good first place to start.
Yeah, you can talk to a couple different ones. Spend a lot of time and work really hard just trying to find good agents for it.
That's important. It's like you can't just put anyone on there, or what's the point? The whole point is finding people who are really good.
Yeah, agents cannot and will not ever be able to pay to be on it.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it's just criteria that I've set because there is no like totally set criteria to be like these are great agents, but there are certain baselines at least, and then you talk to them and get to know them and some of the things about them and know if they're good or not. So whether you want to use How to House or you just want to understand how to properly vet an agent, some of the tips I would say.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, would be number one, you should be looking for an agent that has some experience. If they're brand new, that can be okay if they work on a team and they have basically a co-agent working hand in hand with them that has a lot of experience.
Yeah.
But they need to have like a lot of experience because that makes up for it and they won't miss a step that way. But if it's just someone new and they're totally on their own, it's just, you're just going to be honestly leaving money on the table working with someone like that. And maybe it's friends and family and it's low stakes. And so that's fine if that's what you got to do. But if you're looking for your best representation, look for someone that at least sells, I would say about at least around 10 homes a year. There's always exceptions, but the average agent sells about 8 homes a year. So you want to find at least the average agent because that tells you at least that they're doing it full time.
Yeah.
That they're not just doing it as a side gig. You don't really want to work with someone where it's just a side gig.
They have a 9 to 5. It's like they're probably not going to be available when maybe
and they just don't have the time to know the market knowledge necessary
because it's always changing.
It's so always
like
changing.
You just learn it once. You have to always stay up to date on that.
Yeah. The next thing, I wouldn't focus too much on brokerages because there are good eggs and bad eggs at every single brokerage. The agent that's so busy that sells 50 plus homes a year, you're going to get shuffled through the machine is what it's going to be. It's going to be less personal. They're going to have less time for you unless you have a really high budget or
they'll probably have assistants that help, right? No, but yeah, like people that have, because I have a broker like who it's like, oh, for the listing that I have, I brought Jamie on and was like, help me with literally everything so that we do this really good.
Yeah.
And that's probably what most people do that are new.
Yeah. Obviously, you want to Google and see if they have reviews. I actually don't have any reviews. And the reason for that is I'm afraid to basically allow there to be a Google page about me when like any random person on the internet could post.
Oh my God, I hate that.
Yeah. So that's why I don't have reviews, but I
don't think you necessarily need that for your business too. People see the credibility on YouTube.
Yeah. Like I sell homes, people are happy. We have our little closing days and people are happy. You know what I mean?
What about like, I feel like people always ask about the commission split since that lawsuit. Like, what's your take?
Oh, well, in Seattle, not a lot has changed.
In California, a lot more changed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think it's just everyone, it's always been negotiable, but now people talk about it more. It opens up the door to talk about it more.
Do people often ask you for a lower commission?
No, never.
Yeah.
Like never. Yeah.
I feel like it is kind of rare still.
Yeah. Some of the people that I've worked with that make a lot of money are the ones that are the quickest to be like, oh no, I would never ask you that. I want you to be paid what you're worth. And I don't know. I think it's just sometimes maybe other people feel like they're really well compensated in the job that they do. Yeah. So and they feel good about that.
Yeah.
And so then they can look at someone else and be like, oh, I want them to feel well compensated too. Mm-hmm. But maybe if someone is working at a job where they feel like they're never making enough and it's not fair, maybe they have that lens too. I don't know. Everyone's perspective is different. The other things that agents can do really well, but you don't even see as a buyer is the market knowledge. Like really good agents can just know one street is worth more than another street, certain things like that. I had these one buyers, they were first time home buyers and they wanted to see this one house and we walked through it and there were these cracks all over the house. Up, down, left, right, over the ceiling, everything. That foundation was so screwed up. And these first-time homebuyers had no idea. They were like, oh, we could update this house. And I'm like, no, you couldn't.
Like, they're like, oh, we'll just patch these.
I was like, this house is dangerous, and I don't think a lender would even lend on it, you know? And it's like someone looking out for your best interest when you don't know anything about a house. If you can't look at it and know what the siding is made of and how long that lasts. Yeah. Like,
or like, I think a useful piece of information is rough estimates of renovation costs.
Yeah.
Just knowing basically like how much is an HVAC unit. They're usually like $15,000.
Yes.
That's good to know.
And oftentimes agents, they've dealt with all these things so many times that when you want to do something, they have recommendations for you.
Our agent in Palm Springs, he gave us a ton of recommendations. It was amazing. He gave us our property manager, our pool person for a while, landscaper,
Concrete
guy. He had extra turf that we bought off of him.
Yeah.
He was super helpful because he's a seasoned agent. He's on How to House.
He was so valuable beyond the transaction. Then me and Jason bought this house with him, and it was a competitive situation where there was another offer coming in. And so another huge thing with a good real estate agent is they have to be a good people person. They have to be good at making friends with people.
Yeah.
Because when something is competitive, like, it's not just your offer and the price of your offer. It's the listing agent deciding which buyer's agent they want to work with. So they want to work with the one that's more communicative, that oftentimes is just a nice person. Like, I always play nice. Some men out there like to try and boss me around.
Oh, I have heard some of your phone calls, and I am shocked at how these men talk to you.
But I talk pretty well back, right?
Yeah. You stand your ground.
They try
in a respectful, professional way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you for coming on the pod. Finally, I can't believe I got you to do this.
Yeah, it was
and
fun.
Let me rearrange your furniture a little bit. Yeah, the dogs are getting antsy. We should play with them. They're all like, "What are you guys doing?" Okay, so that's going to be it. If you guys want to check out How to House, I'll link it down below. If you want to check out the sponsors of this episode, Lumi and Cure Hydration, I'll link them down below. We freaking need some Cure Hydration because it's hot out. It's like 95 degrees.
It's 95 degrees in Palm Springs.
So yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate the podcast 5 stars on Apple or Spotify, follow on wherever you're watching it, and we'll see you in the next one.
And if you're looking for a real estate agent, go to How to House. Even just message me, a little bit about what you need. And I don't know, I'm really passionate about trying to help people find good realtors because it really makes such a difference in your life. It genuinely literally does. Like, I met my fiance because of the fact that we were neighbors, and I got my house because my realtor was good and beat 3 other offers in that moment. Like,
whoa, you guys never would have met.
We never would have met. Isn't that crazy? I actually think Invisible String Vibes, we kind of would have met.
No, right? Yeah. I kind of feel like you would have too, somehow. Yeah. But it's a cooler story than like Hinge. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Okay, see you guys soon.
Bye.